Right now, you are losing a war that no one else can see. Not a war with your boss, your past, or the economy. A war with the noise inside your own head, the endless loop of anxiety, second-guessing, and quiet dread that follows you from the moment you wake up to the moment you finally exhaust yourself into sleep. And here's what makes it worse. You've been told the solution is to calm the chaos, to silence it, to fix it. So you meditate, you journal, you consume self-help content at 2 a.m., hoping something will finally click. But the chaos doesn't leave. It just gets louder. What if that's because you've been solving the wrong problem entirely? In 161 AD, a man was handed the most powerful throne on earth, the Roman Empire. Every resource imaginable, every pleasure, every comfort. Marcus Aurelius became emperor and almost immediately faced a nightmare. Plague swept through his legions. Wars erupted on 2 borders simultaneously. His co-emperor and closest ally died. His own son would later betray everything he stood for. And yet, in the middle of all of it, Marcus kept a private journal. Not a record of victories, not a political strategy, a brutal, honest conversation with himself about his own weaknesses, his fear of failure, his exhaustion, his rage at the people around him. He wasn't performing peace. He was fighting for it every single day. Here is what that tells us. Resilience was never about having less chaos. It was always about building something inside you that chaos cannot break. Stay with me for the next 8 minutes, because what I'm about to walk you through isn't theory. It's a 3-part mental framework drawn from Stoic philosophy that you can use tonight, when the noise gets loud, to find ground beneath your feet again. Not calm. Ground. There is a difference, and that difference is everything. The first principle is this. Stop trying to control the storm. Start controlling your stance. Epictetus was a slave, literally owned. His master once twisted his leg to demonstrate power, and Epictetus calmly said, "You're going to break it." The master kept twisting. The leg broke. Epictetus simply said, "I told you so." That is not indifference. That is the most radical psychological discipline in human history. The Stoics called it the Dichotomy of Control. Some things are yours, your choices, your effort, your response. Everything else is not yours. The weather, other people's opinions, the outcome of your work, not yours. We suffer most not from what happens to us, but from fighting to control what we were never given the power to control in the first place. Every time you spiral into anxiety about an outcome you can't guarantee, you are spending real psychological energy on a battle you cannot win. The practice is surgical. When the chaos hits, ask one question. Is this mine to control? If yes, act. If no, release it. Not because you don't care, because spending yourself on the uncontrollable is just slow self-destruction. Your takeaway: build the habit of sorting before reacting. Pause, sort, then move. Now here's where most people quietly destroy themselves, and they never even realize it's happening. They master the first principle. They learn to release what they can't control, and then they drift. They become passive. They stop engaging with life fully because they've confused letting go with giving up. The second principle fixes this, and it's the one that separates people who survive chaos from those who are forged by it. Here is a word worth understanding: prosoche. In ancient Greek, prosoche, spelled P-R-O-S-O-C-H-E, meant attention to oneself, not self-obsession, not self-criticism. Vigilant, disciplined self-awareness. The Stoics treated it as a daily practice, like exercise. Today, We've collapsed this into the word mindfulness, and we've gutted its power. But Prosoche was never about relaxation. It was about precision, the principle. Your internal chaos is not random. It has a pattern. And until you map that pattern, you are always reacting to yourself, never leading yourself. Marcus Aurelius used this every morning. He would write out his fears and impulses, not to feel better about them, but to see them clearly. Because clarity is leverage. You cannot fight an enemy you refuse to look at. Start noticing when your chaos spikes. Is it triggered by uncertainty? By feeling unheard? By the fear of being ordinary? Find the pattern. Name it. Naming a thing immediately reduces its power over you. That's not poetry. That is how the brain processes threat. Your takeaway. Tonight, write one sentence. When I feel chaos, it is usually because I fear blank. Fill in the blank honestly. That one sentence is the beginning of real self-mastery. The third principle is the hardest one, and it's the one no one wants to hear. You have to stop waiting for the chaos to end before you start living. Seneca wrote this in a letter near the end of his life. Omnia aliena sunt, tempus tantum nostrum est. Everything else belongs to others. Time alone is ours. He wasn't talking about productivity. He was talking about the habit most of us have of putting our real lives on pause, but the uncertainty never fully clears. This is not pessimism. This is the documented truth of every human life ever recorded. Resilience is not the ability to wait out the storm. It is the decision to build, connect, and act while the storm is still raging. Seneca called this Amor Fati in practice, though those words belong to a later tradition, the love of fate. Not tolerance of what's hard, not acceptance. Love. The understanding that the resistance you are pushing against right now is the very thing that is building the version of you that survives. Your takeaway. Identify one thing you've been delaying until the chaos calms down. Start it today. Not because conditions are right, because they never will be. Marcus Aurelius died, still writing in that journal. Still fighting his own internal wars. Still working on himself at the end of the most powerful life in the Western world. He never arrived at perfect peace. But he built something nothing could break. And that is the whole point. You are not trying to eliminate the chaos within. You are trying to become someone it cannot consume. Every time you sort before you react. Every time you name your pattern. Every time you act before you feel ready, you are laying marble. And marble, by its nature, does not bend. So here is what I want to leave you with tonight. If the chaos inside you disappeared tomorrow, completely, permanently, who would you be without the struggle that has been quietly forging you?